Hi and welcome to our channel. I'm Olsen the Dane and today we're going to make Danish meatballs, also known as frikadeller. So come join us and follow our delicious recipe. Let me take you through the recipe step by step. I'll show you every step so you don't miss a thing and you can do the exact same thing at home. So the first thing we're going to do is of course mince our beef and pork. So we're going to use that for the base ingredients. First we're going to take approximately 2 kilos or 4 pounds of pork, cut it into size so we can ground them up. This is some pork I have left from last Christmas in the freezer. We're not going to use it, so we can use it as frikadeller or Danish meatballs. So cut off the rind, the skin of it. You can use that for pork cracklings. I will show that later. Keep some of the fat on it. You can cut it off, but then the meatballs will be very dry. This way you will have some flavor and they will be nice and soft, tender. So the meat has to go into the food processor, the grinder. So we just have to cut it into reasonable sizes. The meat is still a bit frozen, so it's very cold, but that's okay. So the recipe says that we have to dice some onion very fine to put it in. I'm just thinking that I'll put it directly into the meat grinder. That way it will be finely minced with the meat. So I don't have to begin to cry while peeling the onions. So for 2 kilos of meat, you're going to need approximately 2 onions, 4 cloves of garlic, so this will be a bit noisy, but now we're going to ground up the pork, the meat, so enjoy. So now that all the meat has been minced, grounded up, then we're going to prepare the meat dough for the frikadeller. I almost forgot. I also added 400 grams of ground up beef. We're going to need 5 eggs for this recipe. I will put the recipe in the description in a smaller portion, so it's easier for you if you're not going to make so many. Also such a big portion. So again, I'm making a big portion so we can freeze it down. So we also always have for a rainy day. So 5 eggs with the yolk. What a mess I made. So we're also going to use 8 tablespoons of flour. 8. And the recipe says that we're going to have to use oatmeal, but I don't like oatmeal, so I'm going to use Graham's flour. And it's also 8 spoonfuls. And some milk. Approximately 3 deciliters, 300 milliliters. So now it's time to assemble the meat dough. Put in. If you don't like to ground the meat yourself, you can always buy it pre-grounded at a butcher place. It's no problem. I just like to make it from the very beginning, to make it with whatever leftovers we have. So let's get started. So first we are adding the milk, then the eggs, then I've pre-made a small batch of spices. You can see them in the description, and we're going to put that in as well. And the secret ingredients that I have is that I am making all of these broth. I have a video of those. This is the scraps after I've made the broth, so we also put that in. Still a lot of flavors in that. Yummy. Nothing is going to waste. So let's start it up again and add the flours. We just have to mix it well together. After it's been mixed, we have to set it aside in the fridge for at least an hour. If you have more time, well, 2, 3, 4, 5 hours will be the best. But so now it has been stirred well together. Let me just grab a spatula. And now we are going to set it aside for a couple of hours. Very nice meat dough. Very uniform. Everything is very well mixed together. go into the fridge. So some time has passed. It has now been 3 hours since I stirred up the meat dough, and now it's time to cook the Danish meatballs, frikadeller. So to cook it, you're going to need a frying pan. I'm using a cast iron pan because I think that is the thing that works best for me. So we're going to preheat the frying pan. To use a mixed of olive oil, and then we're going to use butter, as we say in Danish. Really smør. So this one here is approximately 300 grams of butter with 100 milliliters of oil. And now when the oil and the butter doesn't fizz anymore, we're ready to make frikadeller. So I like to make them big. You can make them any sizes you want to, but I prefer them like a handful. And if you can make them evenly sized, that will be the best. Oh, it smells so delicious. So let's try to turn them over and see what they look like underneath. They should be very nice and golden on the other side. You can also do them in the oven, but I prefer to use a frying pan. Because they're so big, you need to turn them over a couple of times so they don't get burned, but still cooked all the way through. And it's quite easy, you can see where they're cooked and where they're not, so when you're turning them over, just keep that in mind, that the next time you put that into the heat instead of to the side, and they will be evenly cooked all the way around. So now that we have fried our frikadeller, it is time to put them in small bags and put them into the freezer. So we have for a rainy day, as I like to say. It's not every day that we like to cook or have the time for it. So when we have time for it, we prepare for a couple of days in advance. So it's just easy to take out of the freezer, pour it up, and heat it up in the microwave. So the frikadeller can be served with anything you prefer. A salad, mashed potatoes, boiled potatoes, baked potatoes. When I make them as big as these, I calculate that there are 2 per person, so I'm going to bag them with 4 in every bag. So that's for 2 persons, so it's an easy count. So let them cool off before throwing them into the freezer. There's no reason to put your freezer in over time because of the excess heat that you're going to throw in them. So this is dinner for 3 days, 4 days. It's just perfect. And you can't make frikadelle without tasting it. So here I have my guinea pig, my wife. So let's see what happens. Looks very delicious.
Yes, it does.
It's warm.
Yeah.
Be careful.
Smells good.
As always, just perfect.
Really warm.
Yes. So, in the description below, I've put the recipe so you can do them yourself. And my wife hasn't fallen over that yet, so I think they're quite good.
Really good.
Until next time, see you. And hopefully one of the next videos we're going to make Danish bacon. So if you want to see that, please like, subscribe and click the bell button. That will be very nice. Bye!